All right, Callum, Matt, I'm going to present you with two specific dates, and I want you to tell me if either of them mean anything to you. December 28th and December 29th.
The 28th is your birthday. Or is it 29th?
No, the 29th, the 29th is my birthday, and that actually really hurts a lot.
The 28th is my mom's birthday.
Okay, that's good to know. But you hurt me personally right there, Matt. That hurt a lot. What the thing is, December 28th, although it's your mom's birthday, that is when To Love Ru Darkness OVA 9 was released.
What's it?
More specifically, that's when it got subbed. And December 29th was my birthday. So I downloaded the OVA on the 28th. And then on the 29th, it was my birthday. I received many gifts. Some from you. Some not from one of you. Callum.
What? Wait, we were sending gifts?
Yeah, that hurt as well. On the 29th, I received gifts from my family. And my brother, being the big bro dude that he is, he gave me a joke gift. A joke gift called Viagra. So this is going to be relevant. These two dates are going to become relevant. I downloaded it on the 28th, and on the 29th, I received Viagra. On the 2nd of the new year of 2017, I thought to myself...
Oh, God.
Well, I didn't think to myself. I was watching TV with my siblings, and they like Tosh.0. And Tosh.0 has this skit where they take Viagra and watch gay porn to keep themselves and try to keep themselves from getting erections. And I thought, on the 2nd, I'm going to be completely alone. And I have Viagra, and I have a To Love Ru OVA. Can I survive a 30-minute OVA without getting an erection? So I haven't told you guys about this for 23 days because I was kind of embarrassed because I failed that test almost fucking immediately.
But now, why not put it on a podcast?
I saved it just because I was like, we're bringing AniPod back. I'm going to have a great story. And then I failed almost immediately. And that's the relevancy between those two dates. And because we had nothing else to talk about, I was like, let's start it with embarrassing myself completely.
How did the OVA even start? I forgot. Did you just see Momo's face and get a hard-on?
I don't want to talk about it. It's just...
I don't want to talk about it either. Just throwing it in there.
It's To Love Ru. So I have a question for both of you to get away from my story, but not away from it at all. For one, do you think you'd last longer? Oh. 2, there are no harems this season, so I think we fixed anime.
There's harems.
There's Seiren, but I don't think that technically
I wouldn't count Seiren, but there is Masamune-kun. That's a harem of sorts.
Is that?
Yeah, most of the girls end up liking him, though he has his eye on one, but I mean, generally, that is the case with harems. Rewrite is also a harem, technically, isn't it?
Technically, I guess, but it's adapting, like, Moon Terror or whatever, that arc or whatever, so I don't think so. I'm not too sure. Regardless, there's no, like, genuine light novel adaptation shitty harem. Because, yeah, I mean, if we could argue, like, Chaos Child is a harem, but that's, like, a multiple route visual novel, so it's like, you know... What I'm trying to say is we fixed anime. Shut your fucking face. Wait, is Konosuba a harem?
I mean,
no, I wouldn't even go close
only
to that.
2 of the girls end up liking him in Konosuba, like later on in the light novels.
I don't know. That's just it's silly genre defining stuff.
Yeah, but I mean the show, like how the light novel treats it, is not obviously not like how general harems usually go by.
Yeah, but that's the reason I watched the To Love Ru thing, because I was like, I have no other content to watch.
I mean, that was before the season even started.
I know, but I was looking at the fucking, I was just like, because I always learned so much about the seasons and like read stuff and all that before it airs, and then I was just like, oh no, what am I gonna do? I can't be garbage this season.
Well, no, you could watch Handshakers.
You could easily be garbage and watch Fuka.
I am. We are gonna watch Handshakers.
Okay.
I'm specifically not reading those because you were like, Glenn, you should not watch those, and I was like, okay.
No, I told you shouldn't, but you really should. And also,
I mean, I get exactly what you mean by that, but like, that's not the best. Like, I don't have much confidence in them in fucking sitting down and wasting my time with them.
Glenn, you know what Fuka's about. You know what happens.
I know what happens in Fuka. That's another reason I'm like, all right, I'm good.
And also, Callum, I don't think Handshakers is trash. I think everyone is being really unfair with it because sure, its aesthetic isn't exactly pleasing to the eye, but I think it is pretty visually distinctive.
Is it pleasing to
anything.
any of the senses?
I haven't seen it, but I've seen a lot of people on social media just shoot out screenshots of the show, and I feel like
admittedly
people are just being really nitpicky, or some of the shots don't look so bad. I don't know.
Okay, admittedly, I didn't watch it the proper way. I had it on my second screen on mute, and I just occasionally looked over at it whilst playing on my 3DS. And
Callum, that doesn't count at fucking all.
I didn't I just needed to know what people were talking about. I needed to know if those screenshots that people were taking was the whole thing.
Just watched it.
I understand that the textures don't look so good in many of the shots, but
like
the 3D layouts don't exactly bother me. I feel like it at least looks different.
3D layouts are fine, and there are some good examples, but I think there's some awful use of perspective. There's weird planes of existence that feel like they're just like suddenly characters are just tiny in frame, and you can never get a good size of like what rooms are like in many cases. It's not a good show.
Okay, so I haven't seen Handshakers. I'm only playing Devil's Advocate right now. I mean, it does use a lot of, I guess you could say, 3D CG. So let's talk about 3D CG since we have nothing else to talk about.
Cool. I've been watching Gravity Rush Overture, which I'm putting forwards as a good example, where it's 3D animation that uses 2D philosophies. Like, they've got 2D animators on storyboard and animation director staff to kind of guide it.
Is it like that Disney short Paperman? I don't know if you remember that short.
I watched Paperman, but it was ages ago.
Yeah, they used CG in a lot of the shots, but they rotoscoped it over with 2D animation.
Yeah, it's not
they
like
did it
that.
really well, though.
Yeah, it's not that good. But
like, I think I don't necessarily think Handshakers. I mean, from what I've seen of people posting, some of it looks bad, but I think a lot of people are just now being really
really mean
to the show.
Real big bullies.
Yeah.
The main person behind it is the main person at GoHands in general, Shingo Suzuki.
Yeah.
And he has like this one specific animator bro whose name escapes me at the moment, and like a couple other directors, very obsessed with the idea of movement. So, which is not that good considering anime, TV anime specifically, not really meant to have that much movement based on the tight schedules, but he makes do with it by having, he just have ambitious cuts that you could possibly never have an actual moving background for, because that would be outrageously difficult, and there are animators who can do it, but he just replaces it with CG, and occasionally it really does actually work. Sometimes the CG in the background moves at a couple frames faster and kind of makes it look jittery, but for the most part, Shingo Suzuki and a lot of the staff at GoHands are, I hate to use the word interesting.
Suzuki's actually really popular among animators, far more than he's popular among viewers. Because I've heard from a couple of interviews with a few fairly unconventional people. Koichi Kikuta, the guy behind a lot of Konosuba, he really, really likes Suzuki, and part of that is exactly what you said, just this ridiculous focus on making sure that things are moving, even at the sacrifice of other sides of things. So even though I think Handshakers looks like dog shit, I kind of respect it.
Oh yeah, K Project was a lot better looking, and I liked K Project better in general. From what I still haven't started Handshakers because I'm supposed to watch that with Matt and another. K Project had better character designs, I'd say. I don't know what it is. Oh wait, the director of photography left. That's why.
Yeah, there's no color. There's no
Gohans,
color director either.
Yeah, like the director of photography and that person are no longer who were working on K Project aren't on Handshakers, and I think that results in a lot of not good use of color. And that's because like if K Project had the same color contrast that Handshakers did, I wouldn't like it as much, and people wouldn't like it as much either. But it's all because of that. It's not because of Shingo Suzuki. It's not because of the CG backgrounds. It's not because of the animation. It's because of the colors. The colors are the reason it's ugly. It's not Shizuki. Talking about CG, actually, because we mentioned that before, there is a concept trailer for an anime that got announced for Sprain, and the dude who's like main dude behind a lot of the WebGen movement stuff, Chimo, or like Ryo Taimo.
Oh, really?
The director of Yazakura. Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah, Richimo.
Is he back?
Yazakura Quartet. Yeah, this is what he's been working on for like the past 2-3 years.
WebGen God?
Yep, director of Yazakura Quartet Hanano Uta, episode 1, completely digitally animated, and most of the other episodes, not entirely digitally animated, but
he's
damn
like,
good progress towards it.
When you talk about kind of the most influential people as of like post 2010 anime, Ryochimo is certainly one of those people. He's a pioneer.
Yeah. But don't you realize that I said talking about CG?
Oh fuck! Yeah, because he's been
Yep.
he's been hanging out with Polygon Pictures. He's been a unit director there. What the hell is he? I thought that was just a coincidence.
Is he working on Polygon Pictures Godzilla?
Oh god, it's a combination of 2D and CG. This new thing, but it's just such a step away from like Hanano Uta and what I thought he was about. It's so odd because the 2D animation was nothing
name
special.
of it?
I can't recall. All I remember is that it was a concept trailer, and it was released yesterday. I sent it to Matt. I don't know if you watched it. It just looks really weird, and it doesn't look like him at all.
It looks like Polygon Pictures CG.
Yeah, it does. It's pretty. It looks like Ajin almost, but not as choppy.
Okay, I got to the end of the video and I rewatched the credits. There's 4 other directors. He's the chief director.
Oh,
regardless, this is where he is currently. So who knows what he's doing? It's a really weird project, and I think it's announced to come in spring. I don't know. Spring has a ton of goddamn shit in it.
Like when we come to talk about stuff like Polygon Pictures, there's a lot of other 3D CG mini studios here and there that work on primarily 2D anime. Like Sanzigen works on 3D CG on like a lot of tiny shows.
They have their own shows like Bubiki Baranki, a name that is very fun to say but hard to say at the same, which is an amazing show. It's kind of like a throwback to a bunch of like older stuff, almost in the Gainax sense, that Gainax nostalgia people like. It is a lot like that, and it's actually, I highly recommend it. And Sanzigen is probably one of the best 3D CG studios that has gone off by themselves to do shows fully produced by them.
They're kind of, I'm not totally sure whether to give that prize to Sanzigen or to Kara's digital team.
Okay, I'm talking about like a specifically small studio.
But then Kara digital team goes off and does their own stuff.
What about Graphinica?
What have they done?
The 3D CG for stuff like High Fury or Girls and Panzer.
I've heard of Graphinica, yeah.
Yeah, they've done stuff for Girls and Panzer and High Fury, and I think those two have really good examples of use of 3D. I mean, the characters aren't ever really in 3D, only occasionally, but mostly it's to make 3D layouts out of the vehicles, the tanks, and the battleships in those shows to allow sweeping, huge camera movements.
But then, if you're talking about sweeping camera movements, then you're also talking about Studio Orange and their mecha animation.
Orange too, yeah.
Like,
For the most part, I honestly don't know that much about 3D CG studios.
oh my
'cause-
god, are we outclassing Glen here?
Well, I'm sorry that I believe in true animation.
I love 3D. I love these new technologies trying to implement a new.
Yeah, but none of those technologies have the very specific personal touch. Okay, some parts of Bubuki Baranki had like some like 2D effects, but the reason I felt those felt so personalized is because they were like an emulation of 2D effects. Like 2D drawings just have such a much more personal stamp on them in comparison, especially when you consider like movement. It has, but okay, no, wait, 3D CG has been around a long time. Japan is just behind the ball.
No,
like,
well, yeah,
American
well, we're talking
studios-
about the Japanese anime. We're not talking like if you want to go to if you want to come over to the West here in America, then 3D animation has
where 2D
Yeah,
animation
yeah.
is dead.
Like,
with
have
films.
you guys I don't know if you guys have
that's
seen it, but there's a trailer for Indigo Ignited, Henry Thurlow's 2D animation project in Japan.
No.
Yeah,
I don't believe I have.
it's just kind of interesting because there's this is totally uninformed, but when you see French animators going over to Japan, when you see the Chinese animators, even just various European animators, much of them have
Foreign animators,
animators get a lot of success in Japan,
a lot of Indonesians.
but I have not seen the same from an American 2D animator, and I feel like I'm trying to say that American 2D animators just aren't up to scratch, and there's been this cultural shift that has ruined American animation.
I mean, a lot of American animators for 2D animation, they usually go up to Canada and work on stuff there.
Yeah, Canada's got a lot of 2D studios. Like, what happened to America? Like, I get the idea that projects switched over to 3D, but
Walt Disney died.
yeah, and
That's honestly a big part of it.
yeah, and the entire movement of these really integral 2D films just fell flat. And then Japan took over, and now if there's a big 2D animation project that an American studio wants done, they just call up Korea, call up Japan, call up China.
Well, let's be fair here, Callum. Japanese is the better race.
There we go. That's the AniPod verdict.
I mean, honestly, I'm bored. Like, I like CG, but I'm bored to death by it, and I don't feel like it has the same personalized movements. Like, in terms of like character animation, I don't think CG can ever be up to snuff. I mean, okay, it can.
I disagree with that.
At current standards, I know that's why.
No, but that's why I think
Japanese
Handshakers
CG.
is so interesting because sure, maybe it doesn't look good, but at least it has something distinctive with its CG elements, I think.
See, I don't think the CG elements are anything decent in regards to Handshakers. I think.
Oh, no,
I think they are like their only merit is a 2D animator didn't have to do that. I think that's legitimately it. A 2D animator did something that they enjoyed more, rather than a chain flying across the screen or whatever.
Hey, chains flying across the screen, that offers, a dynamic shot.
Yeah, it does. But
It offers a very specific metaphor about animation, because when you think about
fuck.
what is holding it back? It is the chains that are 2D, the time it takes. CG is so much easier in comparison, even though it's really not. But, people will kind of like to say that.
Oh yeah, we should probably, if we're going to be educational, we should probably say 3D animation is not cheaper than 2D animation.
Oh, it is not
Oh,
cheaper,
God,
no.
no.
And also the reason why the frame rate drops with 3D CG is because it's trying to emulate the same frame rate as 2D animation.
Yeah,
'Cause
badly, usually.
It would
There's a
look
lot of-
more awkward if the 3D animation didn't try to balance its frame rate with the 2D animation.
That's what Sanzigen's got on board.
Yeah,
on the ball,
limited CG.
Yeah, because they do the 3D animation, but they work with frames the same way that 2D animation will work with frames, like basing the frame counts on the movement, whilst Polygon just cuts frames.
I mean, Polygon never this in their own projects. Does Polygon ever use 2D? No,
nope.
Right? Yeah.
Polygon does not have 2D animators, like not even on staff. If you look at storyboard artists, animation directors, like you do not get these prominent 2D animators like what other projects might have.
A Black Rock Shooter, I don't know.
Yeah, Black Rock Shooter is a great example. They got a load of Trigger folks to go and work on that, so even the 3D elements there are heavily monitored and checked by 2D animators.
Yeah, but overall, you should embrace 3D CG because it allows a lot of good stuff. Actually,
I want no.
Okay, when it's like
what about
Love
Cassette
Live,
Girl?
Then
what about
maybe not. But
what about the Japan Animator Expo film Cassette Girl? Did you watch that?
Yeah, of course, but that's unfair to compare a 5-minute thing to.
Yeah, but it's still a good sign. It still
Girls in Ponza would not be what it is without the 3D CG.
And then you look at Yamato Works with their short films like Kakurembo and their short piece stuff. That's really, really good.
Anyways, 3D CG is just going to become more and more relevant to the industry as the time goes on. I'm not saying to just completely kill it. I'm just saying I
just stab it a bit
for 2D animation. Yeah, just give it a little bit of a poke, a little bit of a bleed to death slowly sort of thing.
In terms of like stuff that's fully 3D CG, like polygon pictures, I'm not a fan of that. But when you do stuff like what, say, like Koei no Katachi or Euphonium does, they use 3D layouts to trace over them and give a better provide a better sense or reference for perspective. It works so well with the KyoAni shows.
Really well. No, Gohan's does this as well. They map like specific cuts out in 3D CG, and that's where a lot of the insane movement comes from. And then they trace over that. Like, it gives it a very inhuman feel, the same way that most Japanese CG tends to have, but since it's 2D, it feels personalized in a sense. Like, someone put their work into this.
They did.
Well, when I watch CG, it just doesn't feel the same. It depends. Bubiki Baranki is a really good example. Like, I love Bubiki Baranki, but
they used 3D in the planning stages of New Game, and I'm sure they do it in a lot of other shows where they'll do a 3D model of one of the most popular sets. So it was the office for New Game, and basically animators could just spin around, say we're gonna animate this angle, and they'd immediately have a reference of everything that's there.
Yeah, but that's kind of what I mean. I think 3D is a really good support for 2D. I don't 3D alone, maybe not so much as of right now with Japanese animation, like Expelled from Paradise doesn't look that good. But the
girl's hot though.
When she's drawn in 2D, yeah, sure.
Hey, I didn't watch it. I've only seen the fan art.
But yeah, I think it's really good for a use of reference, because some of the best 2D animated shows recently actually use a lot of 3D CG. It's just invisible almost.
No, but rotoscoping's terrible. What are you on about?
I know. Did you see Akunohana?
Akunohana. Oh,
fucking unibrows, man.
Rotoscoping's gotten such a bad rap because of that. And I feel like it's changed more or less, but there was already so many good examples of rotoscoping before that people just don't realize are rotoscoping.
Hanato Alice.
Like, whether it's true.
That is a great example.
Your Lie in April, some cuts were rotoscoped.
The opening to The Perfect Insider. which is one of the best openings in recent years, and that's rotoscope.
Oh my god, it's such a good opening. Did you see the finished version? Because the first version didn't have like all the effects.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's like all the sparkles and whatnot. It's
Cannabuna is also a fucking amazing band.
There were moments in Kids on the Slope that were rotoscoped as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then some moments that people thought were rotoscoped, and the animator had to come to Twitter and say, no, it wasn't. I'm just really fucking good.
If I recall, one of the Yoshinari brothers did a cut on Seraph that people thought was CG because of how ridiculous it was.
Yoshinari. Yeah. Ko Yoshinari is a fucking god and somewhat alien.
He's a madman. That's what he is.
Like, he started doing some second key animation, which is like adding extra line work, extra details onto already existing key animation. He did that for Girlish Number, I think. And somehow he's managed to bring it all alive, because like, whilst his younger brother seems to work better with less lines on stuff like Little Witch Academia and that sort of thing, Ko Yoshinari does so much with more lines to the point that his work ends up looking like CG. So all we need is just thousands of him, and we can revitalize the 3D animation industry by doing it.
I've been working on the
2D.
cloning machine for like a decade. If anyone has like, I don't know, any information on how to actually do it, I'd really appreciate that, because I kind of need about 1,000 more Ko Yoshinaris to get a season 3 of Railgun.
Do you want me?
So I'd really appreciate it.
We can all go and see if we can grab heads off his heads.
I mean, you're implying I don't already have them. I spent a lot of good money on this air. We don't need more, man.
Just being round his place, swabbing his toilets.
You're talking about like the line work on his work compared to his brother's. Kind of brings up the whole did we talk about this before? The character designs and the simplicity simple character designs versus more detailed character designs.
We only traced slightly on it. No, we haven't.
Yeah, that can make or break a production.
Conversation.
Like how Grand Blue Fantasy is starting to get a lot of issues because the character designs are way more detailed than they really should be.
No, I think they're too stiff.
Yeah, also that happens because you get to the point where you have to stick so close to that line work that your cuts end up being much more stiff. Like, you can't
There's some good character designs for that, though. Like Akio Watanabe's Monogatari character designs for the TV show.
Yeah, but they're willing to but they're willing to simplify them at points.
Yeah.
Certain shows, like, whether they want to stick to some specific tone, won't do that. Like, I don't know, say something like Zonky no Terror, and they didn't play with the character designs in any sort of way. Like, that sort of stuff. But those
Zonky no Terror is more, like, realistic, sort of.
No,
animation.
that's what I'm saying. Like, Watanabe, that's what I was getting to. Watanabe's shows, like Samurai Champloo, Bebop, and Zonky no Terror,
and Days,
are detailed character designs, but not difficult, because they're detailed in such a way that animation isn't made impossible for it. It's hard to describe. I don't know. I wanted to talk about my erection, but now we're talking about anime shit.
Wait, you said Akio Watanabe?
I said Akio Watanabe, and Glen talked about Shinjiro Watanabe.
Oh.
No. I jumped away from that to talk about different character designs.
Yeah, no, Glen, I think you accidentally said Akio Watanabe for Cowboy Bebop.
No, I literally only said Watanabe. Don't put words in my mouth, you motherfuckers. Don't talk to me like this. This is my podcast.
Who's your favorite character designer?
Akio Watanabe.
Okay. Okay. All right.
You know he directed a porn, right? Like a hentai.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I know. The girl with multiple costumes.
Piro?
Yeah.
Piro Sensei? What was it? Or Piro Omoto?
It is impossible to like mention Akio Watanabe around you without you mentioning. Oh, you know they did a porn, right?
Many people in the industry that we know of have worked on porn.
Oh yeah.
Dude, a lot of people in the animation industry are fucking horny. That's just how it is. People are horny, and so are fucking animators, directors.
Yeah.
Come on.
Oh, we talked about Ryotimo earlier. He's a massive lolicon.
Is he?
Oh, totally. If I found I kind of like folder of his from.
You have a folder of his lolicon porn?
Did you log on to? Did you like fucking? Did you break into his fucking house? Like log on to his computer and like find his folder?
No,
and
it's
you're
like
just this is it.
like one of those online
Callum
archives.
is into lollies. Yes. Okay.
No,
we all know
no,
that.
I was just
All right, confirmed.
I was doing research on Ryotimo, and I realized that all of his old stuff is all online because he did like loads of blogs and stuff. So I just Wayback's Machine and
Yeah, that's where most of the web gen people came
Yeah.
from. So you can find like a lot of their like solo works that are just like 5-second cuts online.
and he does a lot of lolicon art, like a lot.
It's the same of like how Grimgar director Ryosuke Nakamura, he loves legs. He really, really likes thighs. And I think that's the reason he married the character designer for Grimgar, Miyoke Hosoi?
Oh wait,
Or whatever.
they're married?
Yeah, pretty sure, yeah. No, in fact, I'm 100% sure. Yeah, they're married.
We're just from all of us at AniPod, we're very happy for you.
Well, I mean, they've been married for a while, Cal.
Look, it's never too late. It would be a bit awkward.
Cal, did you
but-
actually... Did you get into Grimgar?
I got a good bit into.
So what you're saying is you didn't finish it. Great. Thanks for the discussion, man.
Hey, you asked, did you get into Grimgar? I answered, yeah, mostly.
Did you stop because you didn't like it, or...?
No, around that that was winter, wasn't it?
Winter 2016.
Yeah, I was totally into Pokemon then. I was doing a big Pokemon video, so I was
Fucking-
marathoning
Great.
the fuck out of Pokemon XY.
The Canipa effect right here.
How far did you actually get into it?
About I finished Pokemon XY and XYZ.
Okay, then I wasn't asking about Pokemon. Don't worry about that. I know you finished Pokemon. It's the one thing you ever finished. I was asking about Grimgar.
I think halfway.
I really, really like Grimgar. I really, really like it.
I really need to go
I'm
back to
disappointed
it
in you.
as well. I listened to all the insert
It's-
songs because they put them all on YouTube.
Oh, no, yeah, because of No Name.
Yeah, which is a really cool initiative, and I think they're actually coming back, or are they already back?
Yeah, they're coming back. No, I think they announced a show they're going to be doing again, but I don't remember the name of the show. Regardless, it was a really cool, not innovative music, but it was a pretty unique soundtrack for an anime, I'd say.
Yeah, it was a load of like newbie composers doing things, so it was a cool idea.
To be, like, talking about Grimgar and that, it's almost like Grimgar, everyone's like, oh, it's just an advertisement for the manga, the light novel, the visual novel. Yeah, that's true. This was an advertisement for No Name. It was an advertisement
yeah.
for music, the music label. Because Grimgar is published by a very small company, so they didn't have very much leeway in how things would go with the adaptation, and they didn't offer much to the production committee. So the music label was on top, so they wanted the music to have a lot of focus. They wanted it to do really well. So there's some scenes in Grimgar where you may have not gotten to them, where there's shots where people's mouths are moving, and that's where voice actors' lines were supposed to be. Voice actors actually said, yeah, we recorded lines that didn't actually get into the show because they played the music over that instead.
I can't believe that we forgot what the other No Name show is, because it's Sakura Quest, the upcoming PA Works show.
Oh, fuck, seriously?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, that's good.
Shirobako.
I mean, I was already
too.
pretty excited. I hope it's Shirobako too. I don't care. Like people can be like, it's just fucking Shirobako, but just a different job. I don't
So,
care.
like,
I will
yeah.
take more of that.
Absolutely
I will
sold.
open my mouth and let the CEO of PA Works shovel that shit in. I will gladly take it all at once.
Wow.
Soccer Quest is going to be good, probably.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I've got really high
Works
hopes
shows
for it.
normally are pretty good when it comes to that working aspect, like Hanasaku Iroha.
Yeah.
Who's actually the director of Soccer Quest?
Someone who hasn't worked much with the studio before.
That's kind of odd considering, but the PA Works has been jumping to like new directors more recently.
I get the feeling it was the Chaika person, but am I right? Yes, I'm right.
You are.
Yeah. Soichi Masuri. I know absolutely nothing about them. So yeah, that's cool.
I mean, Chaika was good, and Chaika was written by the same person who wrote Scrap Princess, which is the other anime he directed. Both very good. I don't know if I'd call them, like...
Well directed?
It's very good. Well, it seems like his storyboards really kind of bring about a sense of adventure and wonder. Like, they're very to scale with adventure, I'd say. So Sakura Quest doesn't really seem like an adventure sort of series, so I'm not so sure about Sakura Quest, considering it's about a group of adults working. But I don't know, man. I've been surprised before.
Yeah. Hopefully the rest of the team's just totally on top of it. Like, it seems to be a really cool premise, and it's an original show, so I kind of feel like it's got to be good, but that's mostly just because I need it to be good.
I can't wait for you to not finish it, Callum.
Yeah. But honestly,
looking forward to the discussions we're going to have about how you didn't finish it.
I am so ready to see myself in 6 months replaying back this podcast, going about how excited I am to go, yeah, I watched 2 episodes. I loved it so much, but just didn't
Callum,
watch
do you
it.
even like anime?
Not really, no. Can I quit?
It's all this is the end of AniPod.
Nah.
I gotta fix you, like, my god. You're killing AniPod, Callum.
I've been getting into finishing just weird shows that... I'm backlogging, but I'm backlogging in a weird way where I'm just watching 1 episode of something I watched a year ago.
That's not backlogging, really.
Yeah, it's not consistent backlogging. It's very, very steady backlogging.
I wouldn't even say that's steady. It's anything but.
Yeah. Because I watched a couple of episodes of Majestic Prince the other day, because I haven't finished the 2nd season of it.
Majestic Prince, really?
Yeah, I really want to see the movie of that, but nobody's
Have you
gonna
even
license
finished
it.
The Eccentric Family yet?
Oh yeah. I finished that entire series in 1 day.
Have you finished Shirobako?
Of course I finished fucking Shirobako! Oh, Jesus Christ. This is an insult.
I feel like it's a well-deserved insult.
It is perhaps a good question, seeing as some of the shows that I absolutely love are things that I've only seen a couple of episodes of.
Since this has been the most erratic of podcasts fucking ever.
Nah,
Yeah.
No, we've had.
No,
worse.
it's been erratic. We have jumped to some random things, like, based off of very little, like, the transitions have very little to do with one another.
I think we did a good job.
I think
I think
material.
we're doing pretty good right now.
Yeah.
I don't think it's too rocky.
I think we should jump straight to your name's Oscar.
Oh
my-
are we really gonna talk about that?
It's such a stupid conversation.
No, it's just a silly thing. I just wanted to joke about it. Your name, specifically, the Oscars have never been about popularity, so just because Your Name is the biggest anime movie of the decade doesn't mean it was going to get nominated.
And it's not
Also, it's not, like, from what Matt tells me, not the sort of movie the Oscars really care
Well,
about.
I mean, it's just not good enough compared to all the other competition it had on the short list. I mean,
No.
what other films that...
Okay, Sausage Party thankfully didn't get...
Okay, there are some films that are thankfully
but-
not on there. Sausage Party, Kung Fu Panda 3, and Finding Dory. Those 3 films, thank God they're not in there.
Finding Dory.
And, oh my god, thank God Sing wasn't nominated. When Sing was nominated for Best Animated Feature in the Golden Globes, that was just stupid. But, there's multiple reasons as to why Your Name isn't nominated. And these are valid, good reasons as to why it's not. So, everyone, sit down. We're going to talk about films, okay?
great.
Because all these anime fans, whenever the Oscars come by, they always tweet about the Oscars as if they know what's going on in the film industry and as if if any other film, like there's no other film, only anime films are worth getting nominated for any category, especially when it comes to best animated feature. But here, Kubo and the Two Strings is actually the first animated film ever to be nominated for best visual effects. And that's because everything that Laika does is all, it's all essentially real. It's a stop motion animation, all they do is actually...
puppet.
Yeah, it's all puppets, but this is the first time that they've ever mixed puppetry with CG visual effects, like the tidal wave scene in the very beginning of Kubo and the Two Strings. So Laika is doing something that is, I guess you could say, kind of progressing along with the movement of that. That's why it's good. My Life as a Zucchini. That is also puppetry, but I believe that's clay animation, and it tells a very, very good story with it. You want to talk about Moana? Moana is finally the first actual Disney princess movie that doesn't feature a fucking prince. And you could consider Brave as one, but Brave was more Pixar. So Moana is the first Disney princess film musical that is really, truly about, or I guess you could say more feminist than its previous films. Not like Frozen, which was just fake.
What was fake about Frozen?
Frozen was pretending to be this film about these independent princesses when they all needed a prince. Well, Elsa, not really, but the other one, she needed a prince. And
I think it was just more comic relief.
It was comic relief in the beginning, but it fell into the cliche that it was making fun of, like many other stuff does normally. It's just something that can easily happen if you mess around with it too much or if you're not careful. Zootopia, which should probably win,
Zootopia
is a great film. I mean, there's obviously its themes are very relevant right now, and the other one, The Red Turtle, which is the Ghibli French Wild Bunch, I think, production. And here, French animation is actually very good. And there are some other French animation films that could have been nominated. I believe April in the Extraordinary World is also French, and that was a great film that was on the running up to be nominated, but it didn't. Just like Your Name, but it deserved it more than Your Name anyway. Another thing, Ms. Hokusai, which was another anime film from the director of Colorful, was released by G-Kids. And Ms. Hokusai is also a very good film. It's a slice-of-life film that is episodic, but also puts in some unique creative narrative elements to mix in all the stories together and also create this sort of surreal narrative atmosphere.
I do love Hideaki Anno's comments about that film.
What did he say?
He said he wanted to strangle the main girl.
That's not Miss Hokusai. That's In This Corner of the World.
Oh shit! Wait. Yeah, it was.
I'm not gonna lie, Matt. I stopped listening until you mentioned something that was Japanese.
Okay, fuck off. Anyways, and these are other reasons as to why Your Name wasn't nominated. Not only is it not, it's a nice, entertaining film, but it's not really.
We talked about it pretty extensively.
No, it's not progressive in any sense that would actually make us desire it to be nominated.
It's commercially progressive.
It's commercially successful. That doesn't mean that it's progressive.
I think the idea that it
Deadpool
had such
is
an impact
commercially
in
successful,
China,
but that doesn't mean it's progressive.
I don't know. It depends on your definition, because I think that Deadpool as an R18 superhero film being a commercial success makes a pathway for other films that want to do a similar thing.
Which you could argue for that, but Your Name
and I'd call it
do the
that
same
commercially
thing.
Progressive. I think Your Name might do the same thing due to its international success.
International success in the East.
In the East, yes.
You can't.
But then I think partially because of that, I think other films will make more efforts towards marketing in China.
films have already made too much marketing in China. Hollywood is taking that route, and it's been leading up to really bad movies. So I wouldn't say that's a good thing.
Look, we all just need to learn Chinese already so that we can accept them as our lords and masters.
It's called Mandarin.
I said Mandarin, didn't I?
You said Chinese.
Oh, I said Chinese, didn't I? Yeah.
Anyways, distribution is another reason as to why Your Name isn't nominated, because Your Name is distributed by Funimation. And here's the thing, the Academy does not know who Funimation is, nor do they know who Shinkai is. So, also Shinkai didn't want it to get nominated.
Oh yeah, he didn't, but I wanted it.
Shinkai really does not want the film to get the attention that it's getting. He's really unhappy. And I think that's hilarious. But anyways, the thing is that the reason why Miss Hokusai or the Red Turtle have had a higher chance was because Miss Hokusai is being distributed by G-Kids, who also distributed previous nominated films like Song of the Sea, which is an Irish animated film. And G-Kids presents themselves as this appreciation of the arts, appreciation of animation as a creative art form. Funimation is an appreciation of anime, but more in the sense that it's like an appreciation of this geeky niche, not necessarily something that is internationally generally respected. It's just this small circle of, it's like the movie Clerks. It's like this small store of geeky, nerdy people in together with these insider jokes and these insider references, these things that normally come inherently with little tiny niches of its kind. And that's the reason why the Academy probably didn't really pay much attention to it either. It's because commercial success isn't normally what drives the Academy. And that's one of the good things about the Oscars, trying to pick out the good stuff of it, is that it normally doesn't really go for...
other people can pay them to watch their films instead of them looking at what everyone else is watching. Great, that's fantastic. I'm so glad that they don't pay attention to what the popular films are and instead pay attention to whoever's paying them the most money. Great.
What? Anyways, besides,
fucking corrupt.
Whatever. Your Name doesn't really deserve to be nominated. If it was gonna be, if it were nominated, okay, but there are more films that came out that year that deserved it.
In another year, Callum, I would have said it was...
Callum, you know what was less corrupt? The Crunchyroll Anime Awards. Because, letting people from the public vote is always...
Or letting YouTubers vote, and a wrestler is very, very...
Dude,
it's
I believe
like
in that
the
wrestler.
people.
WWE is like... Did you guys see the advertisement for get a subscription for WWE and Crunchyroll for 12 months? It was the most amazing advertisement I've ever fucking seen.
I don't understand wrestling, so for me that was just incredibly surreal. But then I saw other people going, "Oh no, wrestling and anime, yeah, of course they go together." So, okay, sure.
But yeah, just everyone who's complaining about it, it's not that. It's just stupid. It's stupid.
Yeah.
Okay, it doesn't deserve to really be nominated. So it's not that. And also, it's the Oscars. Or any other awards for that matter. Just because the awards don't really matter to each individual. Everyone has their own. Everyone is their own favorite critic. So trying to
not me. RCAnime is my favorite critic.
Whatever. It's stupid. It's a frivolous argument.
Yeah, I think it's just this constant. It's just another reflection of this constant wanting for big Western organizations to recognize anime as
respect my cartoons so my parents will fucking love me again.
Exactly that. Exactly that. It's
my parents hate me.
I'm
just kidding. Dude, my mom loves my Dakimakura. She hugs it every now and then.
Are you serious?
No, she picked it up once and she looked at it and she was like, "This is actually kind of cool." I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "When you went Ryan Gosling one?" She was like, "Maybe." I was like, That's the gift for Christmas right there. Dude, I should get her an anime Ryan Gosling.
Oh god.
Is there an anime Ryan Gosling? What would you?
I
What
hope
would you
not.
class?
Dude, I'll fucking.
There probably is,
I'll,
though.
I'll commission someone to make one. Give my mom that a gift. She'd love it. I love how all it took to perk you up, Matt, was talking about actual films.
Yeah,
in the
Jesus.
No,
Oscars.
because
We
I'm just
turned into
annoyed
an
every
RCAnime
time the
video
Oscars
then.
come by and there's an anime. Because every year, obviously, there's anime films, and whenever anime doesn't receive the attention that anime fans want,
It's respect.
they always act as if they know everything about the film industry when they're not even paying attention to all the other films that should have been nominated that
To be
aren't
fair,
nominated.
all the people who watch the Oscars also have nothing. Like they know nothing
Like,
about the
yeah,
film industry.
They know nothing about
Most of
the.
time.
Everyone is going into there for
They know nothing
something.
about the animation industry on an international scale. Because if you've read people, like the Academy believes that The Tale of Princess Kaguya and Song of the Sea are two Chinese animated films, which neither films are from China. One of them's from Europe. So
Yeah. Matt, I think there is probably someone this year who's complaining about Batman the Killing Joke not being nominated.
there probably is, and that's the
I-
problem.
yeah, I
Because
I
if you
think
don't like the awards, they don't honestly really matter that much. They don't.
So, yeah, I think... But I do totally understand the perspective of people wanting to see their favourite shows, or the medium as a whole, be recognised on that stage, but...
I wish people would put that anger towards being angry about Koei no Katachi not having a Western release yet and not being eligible for the fucking Oscars.
Well,
at all.
I mean,
Yeah.
it'll be if it gets released this year, it'll be eligible for the 2018 Oscars. That's how it works. It's like how Girls and Panzer, that came out in America last year, so it was eligible for this current Oscar. Obviously, they didn't submit the film in, so...
They should have. Girls and Benjer, the film was the best fucking film.
I remember when they submitted Madoka Rebellion, and that actually got close to being nominated. But it's just, if anime fans really want something like the Golden Globes or the Academy, or even the other foreign Western localization awards to recognize anime films, unfortunately, you're gonna have to change your appearance and approach, because the reason why Ghibli gets so much attention is because Ghibli acts like more of a French or Irish animation studio. But if you want your anime with a good sense of moe or ecchi, whatever typical thing that generally comes with anime, which, you know, we all love some of it, then it's kind of hard for... It's a
you've
medium.
got, like,
It's a
load
medium
of
with a lot of negative
old
connotations going by it, and to be honest,
Yeah.
all of us are at fault for that.
all
And
of us.
if you really want anime to be recognized like how other stuff are recognized, with, I guess you could say, sophisticated or whatever respect, you really have to give some stuff up, and you have to sacrifice some stuff. You have to make things like more like Ghibli, and that would just kind of...
Well,
make it
that's
boring
what's kind
almost.
of happening this year. There's a lot of there's there was a film announced recently from I think it was an Arietti director or something, and that is very much a hey, look, we're not Ghibli, but we kind of are sort of film. I get the feeling we're going to see a lot more of hey, we're not Ghibli, but we kind of are films in the future.
that's because Ghibli's dead, and everyone is trying to, like, you know, pick up its corpse and reap the rewards.
Either that or everyone's comparing people to Ghibli, even though, you know, Ghibli is an entire entity of its own and depends on the director of the film. And also, I don't know.
Actually, Koei no Katachi is more Oscar-esque than Your Name, actually.
Oh, I can imagine. That's the sort of thing, like, based off of Yamada's style, for sure.
Yeah. It's like, even, like, say if Your Name, the exact same film that came out, like, if it were the exact same film, but if it came out in America, anime
Yeah.
fans wouldn't care. And that's the problem here, because anime fans, and not all of them, but some of them are so close-minded that they think all the good stuff only comes from Japan, but Ireland, Canada, France.
I'm sorry!
Places, just European places, but not America.
Like, obviously, the American animation industry is also it's huge. It is the probably second largest, if not the largest, if you want to compare with Japan. Like, film-wise, it is the largest. Television-wise, Japan is the largest. But there's a lot of good stuff. Like, Zootopia came out in America. Now, it's really good. Kubo and the Two Strings came out. And while I'm personally not big on it, I understand why it's so well received.
Well, if you wanted to fill time, Glen, then that was a great way to do it.
I'm just saying.
I mean,
it's like,
no, that was good. It's a good discussion.
Yep.
it's just me talking to myself, but yeah.
What do you mean? I was listening, sort of. I said Japan once or twice. It was a good discussion. Anime. Regardless, like I said, the most erratic fucking podcast of them all. I'm gonna give you guys homework. Watch some fucking anime. Maybe we can talk about it at some point during a podcast. That would be nice. I'm gonna end this podcast the same way it started and go watch To Love Ru. All right, bye guys.